Hi, so today I want to show you a way to drastically simplify your Salesforce Marketing Cloud segmentation process. And this user story will be our example for today. So let's have a look at the user story itself. As a marketeer, I want to send an email campaign to every primary contact of companies that bought a specific product in the last year, so that we can offer an upsell and generate additional revenue. So we have our user here, so the persona, we see the action that we want to take, and we see the results that we want to achieve. And how do we do that? So looking at the action itself, there's one priority topic in scope, and that's the segmentation of a specific audience. And the audience is primary contacts of companies. So in the Salesforce term, we already know, hey, we need contact data for segmentation because these are the actual records that we want to send our email campaign to, of companies, which are our accounts and that bought a specific product in the last year. So this buying behavior in our example is stored as orders. So the order date should be during the last year and the status should be activated. And additionally, it's about a specific product. So those orders also need related order items with that specific order product. What's that in terms of the process itself? So it's an easy three-step process. We already saw the requirements in the form of our user stories. Then we need to take specific actions to get to our results. So in the end, we want to have a Marketing Cloud data extension with our target audience entries. So the big question is, what do we need to do to achieve those results? And in terms of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, if you're familiar with it, you might already have a process in mind on how to cover this. And this consists basically of two areas. It's the data management and the segmentation. So looking at data management, we have a few questions in mind. First question is all relevant data already available in my Salesforce Marketing Cloud? So do we have synchronized data extensions for all the filter relevant topics that we looked at? Like, do we have our contacts, the accounts, the orders, the order products, and do we have all the field attributes that we want to filter on? If not, we need to set this up first. And then we have additional questions. Is my data up to date? What's my synchronization frequency? When did it run the last time? Because me as the marketer, I want to have up-to-date real-time data, and I need to ensure that everything is set up properly. If the data management is done correctly, or if we have adjusted it accordingly to our needs, which often needs to be like a cooperation between marketing and IT, because in most cases the marketeer doesn't have the technical knowledge to do it themselves, or they don't have the permissions to do it themselves, so they might need assistance from the IT department. And when this is said and done, then there's the actual part of segmentation. So to segment in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, we need to go into the Automation Studio, and then we need to write SQL queries to generate the audience. So we have the query part, and then we have the action part, and say in the action part, okay, once the query is finished and returned results, please push those data in my data extensions. And that would be it. But as you might have already thought, that's really a complex process. It's a time-consuming process, and it's really technical. So often marketeers don't have the skill set to do like SQL queries, to do the data manage, and therefore we often have many dependencies to the IT. So it's more an IT job to do such a request than a marketing job. And yeah, in the best case scenario, the marketeer is enabled to do it all by themselves and to do it easy and fast without technical skill sets. And that's what I want to show you today. So I won't show you the classic Marketing Cloud way of doing, which I showcased you here on the slide, but I will show a way, and that's the crazy part, where you don't even have to enter the Marketing Cloud at all. So it can be all done in Salesforce Core. You don't need to enter Marketing Cloud until the step of creating your email campaign and sending your emails. But the full segmentation process will be done in Salesforce Core. So let me quickly switch screens and go live into a demo system to show you how it's done. All right, so now let me show you how we can generate our audience in Salesforce Core without even entering the Marketing Cloud and then transferring the audience into a data extension so that you can immediately get started with your email campaign in the Marketing Cloud. To do so, we're gonna create a new audience here in Campaign Audience Builder. We click New Audience and we give it a name. For example, Upsell Clients, and we want to have a list of contacts, and that's all we need to set in the first step, and we hit Next. So to cover the previous scenario, we had a few criteria. Starting on the contact level, we set all contacts need to have an email address. So we choose the email field, say is empty false, and hit done. So now we have all contacts that have an email address, and we only want those contacts of companies that bought a specific product in the last year. So first we connect the contact node to our account level. So we say parent relationship, choose the account. Here we don't need filter conditions because we don't further specify account criteria, and we hit done. Now the next step is the relevant step to connect it to our orders. As we said, we want to have contacts of accounts that had an activated order in the last year. Therefore, we need to access the order level. So from the account level starting, we want to access our related records, select order, hit next, and on the order level, we had two filter conditions. So first, we have the order start date should be equals last year, and the status should be activated. So only those orders that really were activated in the last year. We hit done, and additionally we also need to link the order item level to it, because we are only interested in those orders that had a specific product included. So we click the plus symbol here, choose related records again, choose the order product, and here we say the product ID should be our Campaign Audience Builder core package, for example. We hit done, and now we are all set. So that's all we wanted to set up. So as you could see, it's really easy. With a few clicks, we set up our filter network here with all the relevant filter conditions. And if we are happy with that, we simply hit run. So the tool is executing our audience conditions, and as we can see here, we have 7 results. So basically the only missing step now is we need to transfer this list of data into our Marketing Cloud. And we can do this pretty easy. We have here an option to click Add to Data Extension. And we can either add this set of data to an existing data extension, or we can create a new data extension on the fly. I do that one, so you can see how easy you can also create a new data extension on that level without accessing the Marketing Cloud. First, we give it a name, so let's call this as well Upsell Clients. It's automatically stored in your pre-selected business unit and the folder. And in the second step, we need to just create new data extension attributes. By default, there are already 2, like the Salesforce ID of the contact and the last synced time, which is basically just a timestamp when the data extension was updated from Campaign Audience Builder. Additionally, I want to have the email field, the first name and the last name, so we can also do a personalization, but that should be it for demo purposes. So to create new data extension attributes, we simply click New. We also have the option to copy from existing data extensions because most of the time attributes repeat over and over again, so you don't have to do it manually. But now I'm going to show you how to do it manually. So I click New, and I can search for existing fields. So for example, I search for the email field, and it's already pre-filling the name, the data type, and additionally we can set attributes like it should be required, it should be a primary key, and also if we want to have default values for that field. And then we hit done, easy as that. We have a new entry, and let's do the same for the first name and the last name. So I choose first name, everything is pre-populated, done. I choose last name, same procedure, done. So we see our data extension now has 5 attributes. I hit done. And now the last step is match the details. So by definition, we already pre-populated the entries with the contact fields. I could also remove it and enter a fixed value, but here we keep it that way. We hit done, and that's already it. So now the data is already available in the Marketing Cloud. We will also have a look at that, so you can see that it's really real-time, snappy, available just with a click after creating our filter conditions and then transferring it into the Marketing Cloud. So as you can see, we have here our data extension upsell clients, and if we check it, we see the setup attributes that we did and checking the records, and all the data is transferred that was part of our audience. And that's basically it. Pretty simple. You go into Campaign Audience Builder, create your audience, transfer it into data extension, and you did all your segmentation without even accessing the Salesforce Marketing Cloud. I hope you enjoyed this session to see how easy you can utilize the tool to really speed up your segmentation process, to get rid of all the dependencies to the IT department and do it all on your own.